Hi guys, what's up? I hope everybody is doing good. And in the last video, we've discussed about the plan for EIS and SM. So in this video for CA-INTER-Audit, we are going to see how should you phase out your study plan. Now, if you haven't watched the EIS-SM video for the preparation plan, the link will be made available in the description, so you guys can go about watching that. Now, when it comes to audit, as you know, the 70-30 split, so you have to first be very careful to understand one point that I generally always tell, that question paper that you have to write is for 70 marks, but the overall number of questions that are coming, that will be for a total of 90 marks, right? So first thing that we need to understand, as part of the exam for 100 marks, you have a 70-30 split. Now in this 30 marks of MCQs, I've always told this, once again I'm reminding that you don't need any special preparation. If you are very good with the concepts, this part will be taken care of and you need not really worry about doing something exclusively. If your concepts are very clear, if your understanding is very good with respect to the subject, that 30 marks can be scored irrespective of any special preparation or not. But when it comes to these 70 marks, now in the 70 marks you also have an element of what you call as choice. So here, because the choice that is made available, the question paper actually goes down to about 90 marks, right? And it is not 70 marks. 70 marks is what you are supposed to write. The actual question paper is for 90 marks. And because something is for 90 marks, the probability of questions coming from almost every chapter is pretty high. So what would be the best idea to go for this and how do we deal with this? Now let me just tell you that you have to go by breaking the entire syllabus that we have into 4 parts. The whole syllabus, we are breaking them down into 4 parts, wherein in the very first part and the second part is going to be a very major coverage. So these 2 parts I would always want people to focus on, because what I'm bringing in these 2 parts here is all about chapters going by the same order of what is put up in the study module, chapters 1 to 8. Now I'm excluding chapter 6 here, that is audit in computerized environment, because that we will study separately. That kind of sometimes breaks the flow, so we don't want much of that discussion to happen here. That is part 1, chapters 1 to 8 excluding 6. Then part 2 will be chapters 10 and 11, 2 very very important chapters, that is company audit and audit report. So in these 2 we're going with company audit and audit report. Now audit report also includes Caro. I will also tell you the coverage here. So chapters 1 to 8 and of course 10 and 11. Now these are kind of very important in terms of marks, because roughly what you see right now on screen caters to around 50-55 marks out of that 90 that we have spoken about, or sometimes even more than that. Okay, now in the third branch that I would generally pick up, I would go for what we call as chapters 13 and 9. Now these are little procedural topics. Okay, these are very procedural, this 9 and 13. So 9 and 13, eventually when you choose, we have a lot of theory to be read there, and there is a standard way of dealing with it, which I've already put up a revision video. You can go to our playlist and check how to answer questions on vouching verification and special audits. A video has been made on that. If you can follow that video, I think all your problems are sorted out there. Then the left out lot, that is now we have chapter number 6, audit of banks, chapter number 12, and a few essays that are not covered earlier, which I would want you to cover now, will be this. Okay, so this is a broader breakup of the entire audit syllabus here, so that you have a clear understanding of the entire syllabus. Then we'll now talk about marks, the strategy that we have to follow, and how we have to get going with respect to this. Okay, now taking you further to that part, this chapters 1 to 8, this could anywhere range between, I'm going to also do a weightage video later. So for now, this one right here would range anywhere between, I'm just giving you a range, okay, 25 to 40 marks normally. This is just the range, this is not any compulsive action. And here also these two chapters have ranged anywhere between 15 to 25. So is the case with this. Here you can range it anywhere between 10 to 20, and the last lot can also have ranged between 15 to 25. No, not 15 to 25, 10 to 15. So that's only the miscellaneous, right? So anywhere between, okay, we'll give it a higher range of 18, but it doesn't go much there because there are only two chapters. But definite questions are there, because even if 6 marks and 6 marks are pulled out from 6 and 12 and one standard, yeah, possibilities are there. It might reach up till even 18, 20 also. Now, if you can break your syllabus into these 4 parts, and somebody is watching this for the first time, this will be of a great deal for you to plan properly. Cover part 1 and part 2. They require a lot of revision. Okay, there are 26 standards in your CA Inter syllabus. I am talking about the SAS, standards on auditing. Now 17 of them get covered here in this lot, and in the audit reports 4 of them get covered, that is 700, 705, 706, and then 710 I'm putting in a miscellaneous category here. So here another 5 standards of this will get covered here. So that makes it eventually your total 26 standards which are going to be covered. So go with these chapters 1 to 8. Start with the basics, because that's where SA 210 starts off. And this pattern of understanding and the flow will give you, not only the needed confidence, but also you have a proper pattern in doing things rather than simply picking up some chapter and reading. Going by this will have a proper flow. Then coming to company audit, sections 139 to 148, there are no excuses for that. You definitely have to take care of that in the most, detailed manner and all of that. I'm planning to do a live. We will try and do a revision of that. And in the audit report part, you have a coverage called as Company Auditors Report Order 2020. Don't miss that, because there have been many changes in the 2020 order, and generally that is one of the core focuses of the examiners. And I am definitely doing a live session on revising CARO 2020. Okay. Now, so this is how I want you to break the patterns. Now, when it comes to timeline, yeah, I will give you a timeline. Like I said in my previous video, I don't want to give timelines to individual chapters, because it might not possibly work with everybody. Some are comfortable, some are not. So I'll give you for all 4 parts what should be the revision time. So if you are done with your first coaching, or you're planning to do it along with the coaching for the first time, the first revision anywhere should be, for the first part you might wrap it up in a higher scale of 40 hours time. Then company audit and audit report, your first revisions can range between 20 to 25 hours. That's on a higher scale. Okay. And then I'm giving you like about 10 hours for this one, the special audit and audit part, and another 10 hours for these 3 chapters. Now, this one, if you are very good, you can range it between 30 to 35 also, but on a higher side is what I'm giving. So this itself is going to take a good time. But if you have already done one good round of revision back then, this you can range it again between 15 to 25 hours. It might not take all the time, but even if it's taking, it's not a problem. So, it can anyway be between 65 to 75 hours. That's something your first preparation round will take, 65 to 75 hours easily, if it's your very first revision, or if it's the first time you're reading so, or something like that. But if you have already heard the classes well, and if you are already have done things well, your revision time should be brought down anywhere between 40 to 50 hours. That is the thing that you can do. Then further compress the revision time to 25 to 30 hours, and then rapid revisions itself will go about, like we've made 8 parts or 10 parts, that itself is coming to 15-16 hours. So without that, syllabus is very wide, right? So without that 15-16 hour of preparation, you cannot go up. So in the second revision, I told you in the previous video also, now also I'm telling, I'm not a fan of this first revision, third revision, fifth revision, 20 revisions. I'm not. But if at all time permits you to do that, see, because even if somebody does one good revision and gives their best in the exam, you still be able to get good marks. The second revision, I wanted to keep it anywhere between 25 to 30 hours, if you can pull that off. And then the final rapid revision, that is what you normally do along with the exam pattern flow, that should be ranging anywhere between 15 to 16 hours. This is even for those exam gap also, this will take this much time. So you should be on your toes to finish the advanced account exam, come back and get on to audit, because the syllabus is so wide, you got to get going with this. So this is your revision schedule. The syllabus breakup schedule is this, and as such the order of importance is also the same. That is why I've broken the syllabus like this, and hourly plans can be made. Again, suggestions for people who are watching this for the first time: make a plan for only 1 week, right? First 1 week. When you make a plan, don't make a plan for the next 3 months or something like that. Plan for 1 week, see how it is going, right? Then the second plan that you make, or from here you can make it for 15 days, and then a further plan for 1 month, because once you fall in that groove, you will be able to understand. So plan it across like this, and things will be easy. Otherwise, you plan for 1 full month, and 1 or 2 days later you are not able to reach it or approach it, then you will start feeling like I am not able to achieve anything kind of. So I don't want that. Make stringent targets, but make easy ones in the beginning, to make sure that you keep achieving. And once you fall into that groove, when things become a lot more easier, you can kind of go with these and all that. So that is one thing. And then also mandatory aspects. Those who have watched the last video fully, you know this, but for somebody who's watching this video for the first time, what is mandatory? 2 previous attempt papers, minimum of 2 previous attempt papers, 2 previous attempt question papers, and 2 RTPs. One that is yet to be released for the exam, and the one that is for the previous one. Okay, 1 previous and 1 exam attempt. Okay, and then if time permits you to do so, 2 mocks, 2 mock papers you can always try. This is mandatory for you to get. Now, if you are going and following this pattern, if you break the syllabus into these parts, because if you are trying to kind of, so many chapters are there, where to start, what to do, I think if you have spent this, like the last 10 minutes, would have helped you to get an overview of what to be done. And from here on, you can take about the planning. In my next video, I am going to come up with weightage analysis, whereby it will also be a guide. If just because weightage is there for some chapter more, you cannot ignore the other chapters. But our work can be channelized with like a better focus and better direction. But nothing can beat this particular plan. This has been followed by so many students for so many years now, and it has really helped them well. So you guys can also try it out and give your own timelines. Make sure that you fit in other subjects also with this. Okay, don't do only audit at a stretch of 8 hours, 10 hours, or not only EIS or SM for that. That is not going to work. I'll take 3 days, 10 hours day, and 30 hours I'll finish. That's a very wrong strategy. Don't do like that. If you want to do a particular subject, it's a maximum of 4 hours. That too not at a stretch. 2-hour sessions. That should be the ideal way of doing it. I'll just put that up on screen for you also. Maximum what you can do is like 4 hours. That too per day on a subject, because other times you have to go other subject and switch up. And this also not in a single go. 2 sessions of 2 hours. That's how it has to be. All right, so keep that in mind, and you can go back and forth in the video to just if you have missed something, to just see what you want and then make a plan accordingly. So I hope this video is helping you to get a good beginning with respect to audit, and I will see you with more videos and more informative content in the coming future. Thanks guys.